Alright, I would like to start off with saying thank you for everyone who has purchased a lowering kit for the D12. This is the instruction video on how to assemble the lower arms. So in the kit you get self-lowering blocks which go into the rear, and you get two sets of front arms. The reason why you're getting two sets is due to the fact that they're 3D printed parts. The ones on my truck I haven't managed to break yet, and I've ragged it around a bit. So on how to assemble the lower arms, you need a M2.5 screw. I think it was about 15 millimeters. So what you do is get onto whatever screwdriver head the screw is, and start to thread it into the lower arm. You thread it until it starts to come out the back side off the arm. Sorry if my hand's covering it. It's nearly out the back side of the arm. If camera autofocus. So you want it like that. Then, counterintuitive, you back it out. And with the same screw in your D12 kit, you'll get two spare, or not in the kit I provide, but within the truck, within the spare parts bag in the truck, you will receive two ball joint things for it. What you do, same screw, you start to that one's already been glued. You will see it's a bit loose in there, or you may have to start to thread it in. So what you do is that screw you got, take either a Dremel or pair of side cutters to the head of the screw, right, that one's a bit hard. One sec, I'll do it off camera. Once you cut the head off, you'll have a bit of threaded rod. What you want to get is your ball joint, a little bit of super glue into the top of the ball joint, so it's just like a little bubble on the top. Get your threaded rod, and the end you've cut off, you want to insert that into the lower arm, or into the lower joint. Then you leave it to dry. Okay, once it's dried up, you do not put any super glue into the lower arm, but now because it's threaded, you can just twist the lower arm onto the rod. So if you twist it all the way down the shaft, so the threaded rod isn't shown, the original stock with no camber. If you start threading the bottom out a little bit, that will give you camber on the bottom. I know with on the top you can get camber by adjusting these top links, But if you got the top of your wheels nice and flush with the body, or however you want it, but you want camber and the bottom to kick out, you adjust them. So how you get these onto the truck? Okay, so what you want to do is you want to get your chassis, undo the 4 screws for the fake engine, 1, 2, 3, 4, take that off. Then there's 2 screws either side for the lower arms. What you want to do is unscrew the little screw there, get something long and thin, and on the front you want to push the pin out and then just pull. What you got to be careful is there is a little white white little spacer, and then once the arm is loose, just twist up and it should just pop off. So with my arms, you have to watch, because how they're designed, there's one side is smooth and then one side's got like a little curve and then goes into a flat spot. What you want to do is make sure the curved bit and that flat bit is pointing towards the front. Then with the little spacer, you can either put it in front, or stock it was behind. So if you put it in front, it gives your steering like a bit of an angle, which actually helps it to drift. So what you want to do next is get the arm, get your pin. Watch where there is a little notch on these pins, make sure that's pointing up. So start off going through the arm, should be a tight-ish fit. I did drill out the hole a little bit to make sure these fit correctly. Just twist, get it to poke out a little bit, then just slot it in and push. And then just before it starts to protrude out the other side, you want to try and get your little ring in place. If you're like me, you'll drop it multiple times. Almost. Come on. It may also help using something from the opposite side to try and line everything up. Like that. And then just maybe a bit more gentle persuasion. A little bit more gentle persuasion. There, it's in place. Then that little screw, make sure when you look through the hole where the screw goes, see if the flat spot is in the correct orientation. If there's a little bit off, when you put the screw in, it will go back correctly. So then that's now threaded in. So now with the ball joint, you can now adjust on how much camber you want. You can go stupid amount. You could actually get a lot more out of it, but then you'll get the same problem with what the original stock arms had. Let me just get it off. So if you adjust it all the way flat, Make sure when you're putting it on, add a little bit of an angle going towards the bag and it'll clip on perfectly. So with these arms, they add more travel to it. So if you are planning to lower it, it makes it a lot easier to lower it. Because with the original stock arms, you go past a certain point, it makes a pop noise and there's your arm and joint has now come off. Or your arm and your hub is now disconnected. With my ones, still all connected. It's because of that weird curve in the arm actually makes the backside of these just push itself out of the ball joint. The other advantage to this kit, it lets you mess around with the steering. So when it's lowered, that bit will not hit. So you'll be able to get a bit more angle out if you mess around with these links. So next question is how you lower the front. What you want to do is undo the 2 screws which hold your motor in, take that out, and then you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 screws here which gets the suspension torsion bar out. And then with the once you got the torsion bar out, get a pair of pliers and just gently bend it up to whatever height you want. Or you can go the same route I done on my truck and put a remove this torsion bar altogether and put a shock between the top. So with my one, let me get it off the shelf. The suspension 3 rolls on it, so it travels perfectly. Or may not see it, it may be too dark, but suspension 3 rolls, but once it's on the ground you've still got suspension travel with this single shock across the top, which is actually quite fun because when you go around corners with grippy tyres on, it'll roll all to one side and you'll get the rear wheel up in the air. Right, moving on to the rear. So in the set you'll get, or in the kit you'll get a set of lowering blocks. I know the first couple of sets I sent out I didn't do this and I'm sorry for it, but in all the future sets it's now labelled 1, 2 up to 9 and then back down to 2. So you just pick whichever one you want out of it, take it out. I'm sorry that we didn't get enough time to clean it up, but we're printing a load of these and the effort of just cleaning all of them just for 2 of them to be used was not, or the time it took to do it, it wasn't really worth it to us. So you pick whichever one you want. Then if you've got the metal upgraded rear axle, you'll need some longer, I think it's M2.5 again, screws for it. If you've got the plastic axle, what you want to do is undo the 4 screws which hold the axle in place. Probably also better off taking the entire axle off the leaves as well. And then remove the bottom clip bit, you don't need that anymore. You take whatever size you want and you'll put it, you'll put whatever size you want and you'll see the wider opening at the bottom of these, or they should be pointing up when you get them, will go like that on the between the leaf and the axle, and then you'll put the screws back in. So then theoretically that would have lowered it to whatever height you want. I believe possibly with the 9mm ones, if anyone's daring enough, you will have to clear or Dremel a bit out of your battery tray to get it to go that low. So Thank you for purchasing this kit. I'm sorry if this video isn't very explanatory-ish. If you have any problems, feel free to contact me via Facebook Messenger if that's how you've purchased them from me. So all I've got to say again is thank you for buying them off me. It's been a weird experience, let's leave it at that. Bye.